Excellencies, representatives of the human rights community. My name is Rosemary. I'm the Advocacy and Networking Officer for the Chin Human Rights Organization based in Thailand. Today, it is both a privilege and a deeply somber responsibility to speak on the devastating situation facing Chin women since the military coup of 2021. As a Chin woman myself, with experience working with youth across Myanmar, I have seen firsthand how Chin women have played leading roles in the civil disobedience movement, street protests, and the ongoing armed revolution against the Myanmar junta. However, their stories of bravery and suffering often remain unheard and unacknowledged. Yet, it is Chin women who bear the brunt of military violence, abuses, and the gender-based atrocities. The violations against women in Chin State since the military coup reflect a systematic pattern of gender-based violence, unlawful killings, and a blatant disregard of civilian life by the Myanmar military. Women and children are disproportionately affected by the conflict's violence, a grave injustice that calls for urgent international attention and action. Let me share some of the key statistics that reveals the scales of these atrocities. Since the military coup, a total of 472 civilians have been unlawfully killed in Chin State. Of these, 88 were women and 76 were children. The deliberate targeting of women and children, who should be protected as non-combatant, is a gross violation of international humanitarian law. These killings are not isolated incidents. They are part of a broader strategy to terrorize and destabilize communities. The brutality of Myanmar military extends to airstrikes, where civilian areas are often targeted without regard for human life. A total of 116 civilians have been killed in airstrikes, including 27 women and 31 children. Additionally, 242 civilians have been injured in these attacks, with 59 women and 27 children among the wounded. These figures reveal the long-term trauma and displacements faced by survivors, particularly women, who must endure not only physical injuries but also mental scars of witnessing their homes and loved ones destroyed. Landmines, another insidious weapon used by the military, have claimed the life of 37 civilians in Chin State, including 5 women and 9 children. In total, 68 civilians have been injured by landmines, including 16 women and 9 children. Women, who often shoulder responsibility such as gathering food and water, are especially vulnerable to landmine-related incidents. The use of landmines in civilian areas is a clear violation of international law and poses a continuing threat even in the absence of active combat. Perhaps the most harrowing aspects of conflict is the use of sexual violence as a weapon of war. At least 21 cases of rape have been documented by CHRO, with survivors including girls as young as 12 and elderly women. These reported cases are likely just a fraction of the scales of sexual violence, as many women remain silent out of fear, stigma, or lack of access to justice. Rape in conflict is not only a war crime but also a tool used to degrade, control, and silence women. One woman from Matupi has disappeared, her fate still unknown. Additionally, 8 women have been brutally killed after being raped. These disappearances and murder reflect the culmination of gender-based violence, where women are first brutalized and then eliminated to ensure impunity for the perpetrators. Those atrocities demand immediate accountability. The Myanmar military actions violate international human rights and humanitarian law, including CEDAW. Women in Chin State face a dual vulnerability as civilian in a war zone, and as women subjected to gender-based violence. The systematic targeting of women through sexual violence and killing is a strategy to fracture community, instill fear, and assert control. The ongoing conflict in Chin State has resulted in mass displacement, with women and children disproportionately suffering from the consequences. In Palawat Township, where it has been liberated by Arakan Army, women still suffer and live in an environment of fear, despite the defeat of Myanmar military in early 2024. This highlights the importance of the international community paying close attention to the conditions in southern Chin State even after military forces are driven out, as the instability and violence persist. Despite the scale of these atrocities, there is a gross lack of accountability, and justice mechanism for the survivor are almost non-existent. I urge the international community to act swiftly to hold the perpetrators of violence, including sexual violence, accountable whether they are state or non-state actors. The suffering of Chin women must no longer be ignored. The world must stand with us not only in condemning these horrific acts, but also in ensuring that justice is served, that humanitarian assistance reaches those in need, and that impunity ends. Thank you for your attention. The women of Chin State deserve more than sympathy. They deserve action, protection, and justice.